What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. We are back in the garage with my boy, Life of Mike. You know, he's out here grinding on his computer.
Just ordered a new car, you know how it goes.
Oh, sheesh. We got something cool we want to talk to you about today. If you didn't hear last night, Lamborghini announced a brand new car, and I think we got to talk about it. So let's dive in and get started. So like I said, Lamborghini just came out with two brand new cars, and these are going to be very, very special and very, very rare cars. One of them is going to be called the Invencible, and one of them is going to be called the Autentica. These things have crazy designs. Basically, as you can see from the pictures, they kind of look like a souped up Aventador combined with like a Scion. There's a whole bunch of futuristic stuff going on in here, and it's really, really crazy to look at. But yeah, so earlier today I sent Michael a couple pictures and he was like, dude, what is that? That thing looks crazy. And so supposedly they're only gonna make one hardtop and one roadster version of this car. So like, what was your like first initial reaction? Like, you've kind of a fan of Lamborghinis, you like Lamborghinis, you saw these two cars and you're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, no, immediately Riley showed me over Instagram and we have to have one. Like there's nothing else about it. We're gonna get one. That's what's gonna happen, and I'm speaking it into existence now.
Yeah, but these cars are gonna be super rare. I'm sure they're gonna be like what, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 million. I don't know. They're gonna be super crazy. So I think you have to be like a special edition Lamborghini customer to get one of these. They're probably only gonna pick 2 people in the world to get one, which they're only making 2 cars as of right now. That's what I'm pretty sure that they're doing.
What? I'm dumb. I thought they were making a bunch of them.
No, they're only...
Oh, they can have that. I ain't getting that crap. I thought there was a bunch of people getting it. I'm sorry. I'm sitting there talking it. Yeah, we're getting one. It's like, wait, there's only making 2 of them?
No, I told you there was a special one-off car. They're only making 2 of them total in the world.
Well, that's sexy. Which one do you like better? There was the red one, and then that kind of like...
so, if you look at the pictures right here, the red one, and then there's the gray one. The red one is the hardtop, and the gray one is kind of the convertible. I don't know, man. I personally like the color of the red better, but I wish it was the convertible.
Oh, right. Well, that's not soft top?
No, it looks like it's a hardtop coupe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why they don't just make both of them the Roadster, but if you look at the rear taillights, it kind of looks like these LEDs. It looks very similar to the Scion, which makes me think that the new Aventador that they're about to come out with is going to look something like that, with the exhaust in the middle.
That exhaust looked like the Pagani, right? Kind of the Pagani exhaust?
Yeah, right. It has kind of like the pipes coming out and sticking out. I like the lights, like the LED lights that go around, and I think that a lot more car companies are going to start doing like the circle dots instead of, they used to be like really lines. I remember Mustang came out with like the first one that went line, and then like, you know, other brands started coming out. Ferrari still does the circles, which I think Lamborghini is probably going to be moving to.
Oh, I'm really curious how the new Lamborghini is going to be able to fit bigger guys like you and I. Like, are they made for people who are like 5'8" and under? Because the last one we had was definitely like that.
This one, I think, like I said earlier, is based off the Aventador platform. And going forward, I think the Aventador is going to be turned into some crazy hybrid. The V12s have always been wider and bigger compared to the Huracan V10, which is a lot thinner. So the one that you guys had was a Huracan, it was a V10. And the problem with that, it was a spider, so the seat had to be moved forward a little bit.
Oh, right.
So with the hardtop, the seat can go back a little bit. And the Aventador is just like 2 inches wider on each side, and it's a little bit longer, so it's a lot bigger of a car. So this one is going to be a very big and wide car, and I think it'd be crazy if anybody even got to see this one in person, because it's so rare. I think if you look at the interior, it looks very Aventador-esque, but it's super, got carbon fiber everywhere. Alcantara, that yellow stitching looks super cool. The gauges and stuff are a little bit different, and it looks so wide with all that stitching. Now, if you remember on the Evos, there was a screen right there. So the Aventadors don't have a screen in the middle, which they might do in the new Aventadors, which is supposed to be released here in the next couple of weeks.
So like, what's the relevance of them releasing this car? You know, it sounds like there's a lot of hype about it.
So yeah, this one is pretty crazy, and usually they keep saying, oh, they're going to make the last version of something, especially with everything going to hybrid, that they're going to be moving to more of a system that's half electric or even all electric in the future. This one, the relevance of it is it's the last naturally aspirated V12 that Lamborghini's ever going to make. And Lamborghini's super famous for their V12s, so that basically means that this is probably going to be the rarest and the last like supercar, hypercar with the big V12 engine that Lamborghini has made for the past 50 some odd years, which is crazy. Everybody loves that engine, but moving forward with all the hybrid and like the electric engines that are going to be combined with the gas engines, like a lot of things are going to be changing. And you're like, oh, this one's turboed, this one's like, you know, it's not going to be like naturally aspirated anymore. It's going to be a lot more turbos, a lot more smaller engines with hybrids, and not just big V12 screaming engines like you would normally see in a Lamborghini. And that's why people really love Lamborghini so much, because of those reasons.
Yeah, I'm very curious what that's going to do for, like, you know, your traditional old head Lamborghini fans. You know, I wonder what they're going to have to say about, you know,
hybrid system, which is crazy because I think Lamborghinis that were made in like the early 2000s, the Aventadors that were like 2010s, all of those cars, when all these hybrids start coming out, if people start hating those hybrids, you might start seeing a lot of people buy the older Aventadors, which will make those prices
go jump.
Aventadors, Murcielagos, Diablos, Countach, all those like older Lamborghinis from the 80s, 90s, like I'm sure I'm missing a couple of them, but they're all going to probably skyrocket in value because they're gas, they're big V12, and they're not making that ever again. It's very similar to a lot of other brands that are going to that, whether it's like, you know, Charger with their Hellcats, or, you know, Ferrari. I'm sure Ferrari's not going to make that many more V12 engines. You know, a lot of companies are going to the smaller motors with the turbos or the electrics. Like my first car was a Hummer, and now the Hummer now is electric. So it's just like, it's sad for like car people like us, but it's probably more efficient for the future of, you know, saving the environment and electric and hybrid. And it's going to be hard because this new Aventador, even though it's going to have a V12 hybrid something active, I know it's going to be faster, but I really love the sound of these Aventadors now. So the fact that they're moving towards that, it's really sad. But this car though, I'm really glad that they're doing this because it kind of shows like meaning to the older cars. Because like, oh, okay, we can just get rid of the Aventador, like we don't even care about it, like, you know, but it was such a staple in the car history and like the car world that let's do like basically one more based off of that platform to just make crazy 770 horsepower. To make something crazy, super expensive, super rare, and just kind of like you're basically putting the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, like the last hurrah. And I'm glad that they're doing it, because if they would have just been like, no, you're good, and then went and did it, it would kind of be like, eh. People will say that the Aventador Ultimate was supposed to be the last car, but that was still like an Aventador. It wasn't like a hypercar or like a one-off, because they've done the Veneno, the Centenario, the Reventone, but they're going to come out with this one-off to basically say this is the last car that they're going to make. So I'm excited that they're doing that. I don't think we'll ever get to see one in person because they're so rare, but it's cool that they're doing that.
You said they're making one of each, right?
Yeah.
Where would you imagine they end up landing?
I don't know if like a super rich like collector, he probably has owned 20 Lamborghinis at one time, might get it, or they could just keep it in like their museum and their factory and hold on to it. That's what I would do. But I wish that they would make more, like 20 of them, like
right.
With the Centenario, they made 20 and 20, or they made like the Reventone, I think they made 10 and 10 with coupes and roadsters. I wish they would make more of them, but it's from the articles what has come out today, because it was released last night at like 3 in the morning, so it hasn't even been 24 hours. And so we're always trying to talk about it. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet. I want to see if maybe they're like, oh, we should make 20 of them. If people like the design, they should. I mean, they could sell them for like $4 million each. You know, so they might as well. I wish they would, because maybe we could get one to the Dallas area, or, you know, even in California or this side of the country. Like, I'd love to see it in person because it looks amazing. We don't even have a Scion down here, and I really think that there's a lot of parts from the Scion that go into this car as well, like the tail lights, a little bit of the front grille, things that look very similar to the lights. I mean, we haven't even seen one of those yet. We're in Dallas. I'm sure they're all in Florida or California or whatever, but that's like a $4 million Lamborghini hypercar. So
What's the highest prestige Lamborghini that we have in this area? Probably those SVJs.
Yeah, we have a couple SVJs, some really nice SVJ Roadsters. From my knowledge, I haven't seen anything higher than an SVJ. We have a couple of those Ultimates that have come out. We have a couple of those in this area. But from my experience, I haven't seen anything higher than that. I love to get to see like a Veneno or a Centenario or like all these really crazy like older ones. We've seen a couple Countachs, a couple Diablos, but like we haven't seen any of the $3, $4, $5 million ones. Nobody really has any of those. We have a couple Bugattis, a couple LaFerraris, a couple Koenigsegg's, a couple Paganis. That's right. Lamborghini's like the only brand that we don't have the hypercar because they're so limited. They made 500 LaFerraris. They made 20 Centenarios.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They made 500 Bugattis, and then they made like 15 Venenos.
How interesting. And I feel like as far as supercars go, you see as many Lamborghinis in Dallas as you do any other. I mean, any other brand. Yeah.
Lamborghini Dallas Boardwalk is a huge dealership, so there's Huracans, Aventadors all over the place here.
But their hypercars, they've kept that exclusive, that limited amount. That's so interesting. I didn't know that.
Which I don't know why. I get it, but like I'd much rather see a super crazy Lamborghini $5 million whatever. That'd be so cool. I wish they made like 500 of them.
Yeah, I mean, just to give the communities, the big car communities, a chance to appreciate something like that. Because everyone, the car communities here, especially just my limited knowledge in Dallas, but like everyone seems to be pretty, eager to know about other people's experience, what they enjoy about the car, all the little fun facts and specs about it. I mean, all we're gonna know is what we hear about on paper and what we see in videos, and not actually experiencing and hearing it in person.
Right, yeah, it's definitely different, but I'd love to learn more about, why they did that. But I really am anxious to see it if this car comes out, like if it actually does come out and somebody actually gets to buy it, and maybe there could be some more videos online about it. But as of right now, everything that I've told you is basically all the information that we know. Basically with a 6.5 liter V12, 770 horsepower, 530 pound-feet of torque. I mean, this thing is going to be a monster. It probably won't ever be driven like that, but I'm excited to see it actually come into production. And I'm also excited to see the new Aventador that comes out. I'm sure we'll have a bunch of those coming to this Dallas area. I want to do a review on one, or drive one, or do something with one. As y'all know, Lamborghini is like my favorite brand. I've been a fan of Ferrari and McLaren and learning more about that, but there's something about having the Aventador that's just like, Aventador is one of my favorite cars. I think Stratman, Daily Driven Exotics, all those guys love Lamborghinis, and there's a reason why. It's super loud, super crazy, colorful. There's just nothing like it. Like the Ferraris are luxury and elegant. McLarens are really cool and technological, but the Lamborghini just.
I do like how loud it is.
Super loud, super out there.
You're trying to get people's attention, that's how you do it.
Green, yellow, orange, there's so many crazy colors that people do. So I'm excited to see this car, and I'm anxious to see more about what they have to offer with this new V12 hybrid. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Glad we were able to talk about this car a little bit. Let me know if you like this style of video. I mean, this is very easy for us to do. You get a conversation between me and Michael and talking about stuff that comes to our mind in cars that you don't always get to hear every single day. So if you haven't already, make sure to comment down below your thoughts on this Lamborghini. Subscribe to Michael. His link will be in the bio. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.